One of the things that I've known for years is I've known about the story of Michael Jordan being cut from his high school basketball team when he was a sophomore. I mean, so many people are like me. They hear that story and they go, oh my gosh, this is the greatest NBA player, and even he got cut when he was a sophomore. But what I didn't know is I didn't know the backstory of what happened when he was a sophomore until just the other day. I heard a gentleman that had interviewed Michael talk about this. And here's what happened. Michael Jordan went out for his high school basketball team, of course, and his coach only kept a certain amount of players, and he cut Michael, and he grabbed Michael, and he was telling Michael the news, and Michael just couldn't believe it. He was devastated. He couldn't believe it. He's like, but coach, I'm the best, most talented player that you've got. And the coach said, Michael, you're right. You are the most talented player I've got, but you're also the most arrogant. You're also the most selfish. You're also the laziest player that I've got on the team. And as long as you have those attributes, as long as you won't change your ways, you're never going to play for me. And Michael's just crushed. The coach said, I'll tell you what, here's what we'll do. If you'll come in every day before school and work one-on-one with me with a one-on-one practice every day for the next year, I will guarantee you a spot on the team next year. But if you don't, if you just want to lay out this year and come back and try out next year, he said, I promise you, you're probably going to have the same result that you've got now. So what a lot of us don't know is that Michael did follow through. He did come in every day before school for that one-on-one practice with that coach, and he worked and he worked and he worked. And here's what he learned, is the coach taught him to elevate his standard for himself, to demand more from himself than he was demanding, not to just coast and get by on his talent. And Michael Jordan came back that next year, and he wasn't only good, he was great. And as you know, he went on to North Carolina, won a national championship there. He went on to play for the Bulls and be phenomenal. But the next time that Michael raised his and elevated his game is after a loss in the playoffs to Detroit. See, he came out in the NBA and he was fantastic. He was scoring 40 points a night and 60 points a night. But the Bulls weren't very good for a few years. But then they got good. And he got them in the playoffs. And they got to going in the playoffs. And Detroit beat them and sent them home. In Detroit, and Michael said, I was in the back of that bus, and I was crying my eyes out, and I was so disappointed, and I was so mad at my teammates because I didn't believe that they had the level of commitment that I had. I didn't believe that they gave their all. I didn't believe they gave their best. And then it just hit me. I just snapped, and I went back to what Coach had taught me. And I decided that I was going to raise my standard, and that people competed against me, but I was going to compete against myself. And that's why nobody could beat me. And from then on, Michael raised his standard, and he went on to win 3 NBA titles. He retired, played baseball for a while, came back, and won 3 more. All because he raised the standard that he expected and demanded out of himself. Hey, if you want to change your life and have an impact on your life immediately, raise your standards, because you and I get what we must have. We have the income that we must have. We weigh and have the body type that we must have, that we demand. We have the relationships that we must have, that we demand. If you want to change an area of your life, turn your shoulds into must. Raise your standard for your life. Raise your standard for yourself. Why do diets fail? Because people get on them. They want to lose 20 pounds. They lose the 20 pounds, but they haven't made it a must to stay at that weight. And so they go right back to where they are. How many of us have had friends that have lost their jobs, have been laid off and let go, and within just a couple of years have climbed back and are making the same level of money that they were making before they were let go? Because it's a must for them. Change your must, raise your standards. Have an awesome rest of the day. Please like and subscribe to this channel. Catch me on Instagram, Twitter, and follow me on Snapchat. Have an awesome rest of the day.